points in my life where I had real people trying to kill me. And I'm talking about real people. I'm talking about Albanian gangsters with murder charges. Mm-hmm. So I'm not scared about Ryan Stone on Twitter. He's a nobody. I've been through it for real. So I've analyzed my life.
Albanian gangs are the dominant force in organized crime across the UK.
For many years, Albanian organized crime has been on the increase in European markets recognized for traditional prostitution. The latter has begun to branch out into more intricate crime networks. As a matter of fact, it is the drug trade that has propelled them up the criminal food chain, particularly in Europe's largest market, where they are now well entrenched. For the past 15 years, they have been learning from their masters, progressing from smugglers to sought-after drug suppliers, while eschewing violence in favor of building a powerful network of relationships. This is the strategy of Albanian criminal organizations, which, according to the National Crime Agency, control a substantial portion of the country's cocaine market, worth approximately £6 billion. Albanian criminal organizations have also supported county lines, capillary networks that transfer drugs from metropolitan cities to coastal and inland provinces in the UK. Albanian and foreign criminals exploit these commercial avenues. The police raided 1,468 people across the territory in October of 2021, collecting drugs and cash worth over £2 million and 49 weapons. Organized crime damages the UK economy by £37 billion annually, according to government figures. This number does not include any money laundered and put into the legal economy by selling goods. But how did the Albanian Mafia become so powerful in the UK criminal landscape?
Plus de 70 personnes interpellées, c'est le résultat d'une vaste opération policière menée dans 5 pays européens dans le milieu des stupéfiants. La Belgique est concernée.
L'enquête qui a commencé il y a quasi un an ciblait plusieurs clans de la mafia albanaise.
Their settlement is typically linked to the Kosovo War, which displaced over 1 million people between 1998 and 1999. Hundreds of thousands of Kosovars fled to neighboring European nations, with most settling in Tirana, Albania. British authorities found that many refugees who sought shelter in Britain were Albanian Kosovars. The UK's Albanian population is unknown. The National Statistics Office estimated 47,000 Albanians and 29,000 Kosovars in 2019, based on a conservative estimate. However, British government files show that 3,071 Albanians sought political refuge during the pandemic year. Tony Saggers, former chief of the National Crime Agency's anti-drug branch, said to ERP Media, "They have built an Albanian-speaking satellite community in the United Kingdom, parallel to the one established in other neighboring states, such as in the Scandinavian countries during the Kosovo crisis." Albanian criminal organizations recruited recently arrived UK nationals who were marginalized and exploited in the agricultural, construction, and industrial sectors from satellite villages. Cocaine, prostitution, and human trafficking built Tirana's empires. The downside strategy for cocaine.
This is where many of the narcotics, someone called it a narcotics highway, many of the narcotics that are produced or brought to Albania are brought to the rest of Europe in this body of water.
Albanian criminal organizations have patiently prospered. British drug dealers aim to make money quickly and at any cost. Instead, Albanian criminal gangs have realized that profit margins are strong enough to reduce the substance sales price without compromising quality.
A shootout in Albania's so-called cannabis kingdom has left one police officer dead and 2 injured. It came after a raid on the village of Lazarat on Wednesday, where an armed group has holed up and is yet to surrender. According to Italian police, 900 tons of cannabis are produced there annually.
European medicine markets thrive in the UK. It made 30 billion euros before the pandemic, a tremendous amount every criminal group seeks. A kilo of cocaine cost roughly 40,000 euros 10 years ago and below 30,000 euros before COVID-19. Albanian companies compel their competitors to adopt the new fares to maintain market share. Despite the Drangheta broker's dominance, they found relationships and opportunities throughout Latin America, which enhanced their profit. Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Panama are home to elite Albanian criminals. A complex network of corrupt port officials and operators at Europe's most major maritime trade centers helps those who can acquire cocaine at $4,000 a kilo in South America and sell it for 30,000 euros in European ports.
Creating and running the whole chain, from arranging big shipments directly from Latin America to street distribution throughout Europe, having powered and raised the prominence of this group.
Tony Saggers has investigated several cases and seen many ingenious drug concealing strategies. Albanians hide cocaine in bananas, pineapples, dried fruit, metal, and wood. Once it's in Europe, cocaine is easy to extract, clean, and store, he says. The Albanian drug gang Compania Bello, operating in various European countries, used two techniques to transport drugs, the system and the drive, as investigators call them. The first example required a chill container and a loading surface that could be lifted and welded again after hiding the cocaine. The company unloading the loaded container collected the commodity, generally fruit or fish. The second scenario required a simple container to introduce the commodity faster. In all incidents, the cargo was seized outside the port after customs clearance, and the drug traffickers either owned the companies delivering and receiving the cargo or had safe access to the facilities where the containers are loaded and unloaded. Ripoff is another way. Behind the container doors, suitcases or bags hold the goods. At sea or in port, the items are collected. In the later instance, criminal gangs need trusted partners in both outgoing and incoming ports to avoid controls. This strategy doesn't require the shipping firm's cooperation, but is more vulnerable to scanners and other control devices. Cocaine importers sometimes ship directly to the UK from Dutch or German ports. Yachts dock in summer, especially in South Coast ports. A group typically delivers 2 tons of cocaine to Rotterdam and 500 kilos at British ports, where the substance also comes camouflaged in cars. Indigenous and Albanian criminal gangs adopt this strategy. Border police in Wales captured 2 Liverpool residents, Gary Swift and Scott Kilgore, half a mile off the shore with 60 million pounds of cocaine on August 27th of 2019. The Swansea court jailed them to 19 and 13 years for smuggling 750 kilos of quality cocaine from South America to the UK in 2020. The 2018 50,000 euros yacht Sai Atrevido in Mallorca, Spain, concealed the drug. The operation uncovered 4 more Liverpool and Loughborough criminals. Generational clash.
Albanese bendes teisteren ons land. Ze zijn betrokken bij zware delicten in de georganiseerde misdaad.
I have been following drug trafficking in the UK for over 20 years, and I was expecting a fight, a battle amongst the various criminal organizations with the advent of the Albanian criminal gangs. The lieutenants of continental European bosses run British businesses. In recent years, a new generation of Albanian gangs has tried to take over London. Hellbanianz social media profiles display sports cars, Rolexes, pricey sparkling champagne, and wads of money. Money laundering. Albanian Mafia money laundering is diverse. Tracing their assets is difficult. British investigators said their most typical strategy is exporting funds abroad, especially at home. They use MoneyGram or Western Union to send money without providing personal details. Organized crime uses specialists to hide money when investing in South American real estate or other assets. Reuters describes the procedure. The cartel names the Mexican-Chinese financial broker. The latter gives drug traffickers a code phrase, a phone number, and the serial number of a real $1 bill. The latter keeps the money but transfers the identical amount to a courier-provided bank account. 2 ways to send money to Mexico follow. First, a Latin American merchant converts dollars into pesos and delivers them to the intermediate cartel. The second one buys consumer goods and exports them to Mexico. The cartel gets the profits. A perfect cover-up. Semi-empty vehicle washes are common in London and Britain. Before relinquishing the anti-drug leadership to NCA, Saggers had evidence showing that Albanian criminal organizations own hundreds of them. Semi-abandoned patrol stations generally had 6 or 7 workers. The former investigator says it's a cover for money laundering and recruiting. If you pay someone below the minimum wage every day to work in a car wash and then offer them 500 euros to carry a bag of cocaine, you might persuade them. Albanian criminal organizations have the skills to dominate organized crime geopolitics. We could see corruption and violence soar in our seaports as it happened in Belgium and Holland, where in recent years there have been murders and shootings in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and Antwerp. Stay tuned to watch your next video on drug trafficking, and you will know who are the real bosses.